Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm going to re-dye or try to fix a shirt that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. I started out by snow dyeing a shirt in a scrunch pattern. I'll show you what I did, but it's going to go really fast. I prepped a shirt in the normal way by soaking it in soda ash, wringing it out, and then I turned it inside out. I put it inside of a container without even tying it because I was intending to muck dye it, so I just scrunched it down inside of the container. I had the intention of this being a gray and blue shirt, so I used some gunmetal gray from Custom Colors, just sprinkled that over the top. I did the same thing with charcoal gray from Dharma Trading Company, and I added some of Dharma's Bluebird. And then added a whole bunch of snow on top of the shirt. After all the snow had melted, I let it go ahead and sit in the muck for probably about 2 or 3 days. Then I rinsed it and washed it in the usual way, and this is how the shirt turned out. I like the blue color and some of the darker shades, but I really don't like the brown. I think it doesn't look so great on this shirt. I'm not entirely sure if that came from the gunmetal gray or the charcoal gray, but I suspect that it was the gunmetal. So I decided to try to fix the shirt by removing some of the color. I decided to dampen the shirt by putting it back in the washing machine and using the rinse and spin cycle. So right now the shirt is turned inside out and it's just damp from plain water. I'm going to try to remove part of the color using Out White Bright. So I'm going to tie it in a different pattern. I'm beginning up at the shoulder of the shirt, and I'm going to draw an arc on the shoulder of the shirt using a washable marker and a piece of kite string. I'm going to fan fold this line and tie it with some sinew. The sinew is wax coated, so when I use the Out White Bright on this shirt, the color remover won't be able to get underneath this sinew line and remove the color from that area. I'm going to continue fan folding on either side of this initial line and tying those areas with sinew too. So to remove the color from this shirt, I'm going to use a product called Out White Bright Laundry Whitener. It's a powder that I find in the laundry section close to the bleach products in my local store. If you can't find it though, down below this video in the description is a link for where you can purchase some off of Amazon. I'm going to remove the color from quite a few shirts at the same time. So I've placed them inside of a plastic tub or tote, and I have them outside on the patio. This shirt is toward the top of the container. It's not the very top shirt, but it's the one just down from that. This product has a smell to it. It's not as strong as some of the other color removers, but it is still stinky, so I use it outside. I also don't want to inhale either the fumes or the powder, so I wear my respirator when I'm handling the Out White Bright. I'm beginning by sprinkling the Out over the top of the shirts, and I'm adding quite a liberal amount. Now I'm going to pour boiling hot water over the top of the Out White Bright and the shirts. As you can tell, it immediately starts to work. I'm doing a little bit of color removal on a spiral shirt, but as soon as I'm finished with that, I'm going to add more boiling hot water over the top to almost submerge the shirts. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit more of the Out on top of the water. I'm still working with the spiral from before, so just ignore that. I'll show that shirt in a later video. So the shirt that was at the very top is a blue one, and you can see how that went kind of an orange color. And the shirt that we're working with is the one right below that. So far it looks like the color remover is working really well on it. I left the shirt in the color remover for probably about 6 to 7 minutes. Then I took the shirt to the sink and rinsed it out in cold water and washed it in the washing machine using a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent. Then I soaked the shirt again in a soda ash solution for at least 20 to 30 minutes, and I wrung it out of my Panda spin dryer. The whole entire time I left the shirt tied. Then I put the shirt aside and allowed it to dry out really well before I began dyeing it. Since this is a thicker fold, I wanted to make sure I could get good color saturation into the middle of the shirt. So when you look at the shirt, this really is the same shirt. If you remember when it was in the color remover, it looked like it had removed almost all of the color. But after I washed it, it came out still partially blue. It is a much more faded shade of blue than it was initially, but I was really surprised how it looked like all the color was removed. And then after I washed it, suddenly it reappeared. So have any of you all had this problem, or is it just me? So far, the only color of shirt that I've used to do the reverse dyeing with Out White Bright is either navy or black. This is my first time trying it on a different colored shirt. The shirt that was above this one, the blue shirt, remember how it turned to orange? And it was a pretty bright orange. I was shocked when it came out of the washer that it actually returned to a light blue. It is a little lighter than the initial blue that it started out as, but all the orange was gone. The Out White Bright ended up working pretty well though on the gray shirt that was toward the bottom of the tub. The navy and the black shirts, it worked the way it normally does. The color went to like a taupe color, and that's what I was expecting for this one. So honestly, I think most of the gunmetal gray and charcoal gray came out of the shirt. I think really the majority of what's left is bluebird. So to cover up some of that color, I've mixed up blue MX2G from Custom Colors. That's a much darker blue, and I think it will cover really well. Initially, I mixed up an 8-ounce container of this color, but I ran out of dye, so I went ahead and mixed up an additional 4 ounces or half a cup. And for reference, this is an extra large adult size shirt. I put the shirt aside and allowed it to process for at least 24 hours before I began rinsing. As usual, I began rinsing in cold water to rinse out any of the soda ash. Then I gradually warmed the water up to hot to rinse out any of the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. I was a little bit concerned at first because the shirt looked like it was pretty dark. Initially, I couldn't see any of my sinew lines or the definition from them showing up in the shirt. After rinsing the shirt for a while, I decided to go ahead and soak it. I ran a sink full of hot water, added a little splash of blue Dawn dish detergent into the water, and soaked the shirt. When the water cooled off, I changed the water out and continued the soaking process until the water was almost clear. Then I put the shirt down inside of my washing machine, along with a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent, and washed it in a hot water cycle. After washing and drying the shirt, this is how it turned out. Okay, so it took a few extra steps, but I finally got to a shirt that I like. The dark blue color that I used to cover up the lighter blue worked really well. You can still see a little bit of the other darker colors coming through, and of course the lighter blue underneath where I had the sinew, but I think that just adds to the design. Because in my opinion, the fanfold design makes the shirt kind of look like it's waves. So I think it looks really cool. If you like this shirt, there's a lot of ways to make this a lot easier than going through all the steps that I did. But I made this video to try to show that sometimes shirts just don't work out the way you thought they would. And most of the time they are salvageable. With this shirt, I had a couple of unexpected twists and turns, like the two grays splitting and ending up with the brown on the shirt, and then with part of the blue coming back after I had removed it with the Out White Bright. Or at least I thought I removed it. But honestly, if I saw this shirt, I wouldn't ever know that it was a shirt that was a fix for a mistake. I would think it just looked like a cool shirt. So the next time you have a shirt that doesn't turn out exactly the way you want it to, you might try a fix of some kind, either using a color remover to try to start over, or in this case, use both the color remover and a cover up. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed this video, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.